The construction and maintenance of infrastructure has been identified as one of the main tools for economic development in Colombia. This requires huge amounts of investments. Recent economic studies in development countries such as Colombia have shown that great part of infrastructure projects are financed through investments coming from the private sector. Of these, more than half constitutes foreign direct investment. Colombia has recently adopted a policy of openness towards foreign investment through international investment agreements. Colombia has committed to project foreign investment following certain international obligations and standards. Great part of the foreign investment needed to the development of infrastructure in Colombia will have under such investment agreements and will thus be project be the obligations agreed upon under said agreements. These papers seek to describe how the actual obligations committed by Colombia are not always clear and sometimes they introduce new concepts that are not well known in Colombian law. This is the case respectively of they are not well known fair and equitable treatment, and indirect expropriation. Colombia should have caution in the government of foreign investment with a view of reducing the risk of being challenged under international arbitration. They may result in multimillion disputes, even more in this era of financing projects through foreign direct investment.
International Center Forest element of investment despite additional facility between Metalcal Corporation and the United Mexican States. So, before the Arbitral Tribunal constituted under Chapter 11 of the North American Free Trade Agreement. Introduction: The disputes arise of the activity of the claimant Metaclub corporations in the Mexican municipality of Hualcázar, located in the Mexican state of San Luis Potosí. Metaclub alleges that Responde United Mexican States, through its local governments of ACLP and Guadalcanal, interfered with its development and operation of the hazardous waste landfill. Metaclub claims that this interference is a violation of the Chapter 11 investment provision of the North America Free Trade Agreement. In particular, Metaclub alleges violation of Article with requires each party to NAFTA to a course of divestment of investors of another party treated in accordance with international law, including for the equitable treatment and full protection and security, and which provides that no party, no NAFTA, may directly or indirectly nationals of expropriate as investment of an investor of another party in a territory of states except a. for a public purpose, b. on a non-discriminatory basis, c. in accordance with the process of law and article, and d. of payment of compensation accordance with the paragraphs Mexico designs their allegatories.
In 1990, the federal government of Mexico authorized Cothering to construct and operate a transfer station for hazardous waste in La Pedra, and valley located in Hualcázar in ACLP. The site have a rate for 844 earthquakes and lies 100 km northwest of the capital city of SLP, separated from by Sierra Guadalcanal Mount range 70 km from the city Guadalcanal. Approximately 800 people live within 10 km of the site. On January 23, in 1993, Metalcorp entered in the six-month option agreement to purchase Cothering together with the permits in order to build two hazardous waste lifting. In May 11 to 1993, the government of ELSP granted Cothering at state land use permit the construction and lifting. The permits was subject of the condition that the project adapt to the specification and technical requirements indicated, but that the license did not produce of the rights on the authors of the applicant and did not authorize work construction of the function of the business activity. Medical affirmed that this relation with the opposition of the project exacerbated the hearing that a reasonable person might expect that the government would support the approach if states confirmed that said its susceptible of facing an environmental impact was consistent Mexican standards. Medical further asserts forever in the April 1994 after receiving an 8-month extension of the previously installed fibrillation construction. On October 25, that 1994, when the municipality ordered the cessation of all building activities, thought absent of the municipal construction permit, construction had abruptly terminated. In February 1995, the Autonomous University of East LP Instead, a study confirmed the early findings that, although the lifting site raised some concerns with the proper engagement, it was geographically southern of the house was landed. The convenient state of the environment of the site the proposed on a wide site check the project compliance with the laws and regulations, to check the project's plans to prevention and the attention to emergency, and so study the project existing conditions, control processing, maintenance operation, personnel training, and machines to respond to environmental emergencies.
The tribunal is not persuaded by Mexico's reputation to the contrary. The ninth article, for instance, forbids any work inconsistent with the ecology decrees. Maintains a program. The management the program is defined by the fifth article as one of diagnostic the ecological problems at the captive reserve and ensuring its ecological preservation. And addition for the 14th article and decree forbids any conduct that may involve that discharge of pollution ahead of the reserve soil, subbowl, rainwater of water deposits and prohibits on the undertaking and any potentially polluted activities. The 15th article of the Ecological Decree also forbids any activity requiring permits of license unless such activity is related to the exploration, extraction or utilization of natural resources. The Tribunal need not decide or consider the motivation or intent of the adoption of the ecology decree in light of finding of exploitation on the basis of the ecology decree is not essential to the Tribunal finding of the violation of NAFTA. Wherever the Tribunal considers that the implementation of the ecology decrees will and in itself constitute an act tantamount to exploitation. In conclusion, the Tribunal holds that Mexico has indirectly expropriated Metacal's investment without providing compensation, and Metacal, for the exportation Mexico has violated of the NAFTA. In this instance, the damage arising under NAFTA and the compensation due under NAFTA will be the same since both situations involve the complete frustration of the operation of the lending and negates the possibility of any major return to medical investment. In other words, medical has completely lost its investment. The tribunal can use that the value to the expropriate property has developed to the claimant investment to the property. While the tribunal recognizes the validity of the principle that loss profit should be considered in the evaluation of the expropriated property, the tribunal did not award loss profit because the claimants will not provide an realized estimate on them. In the case, as in the present one, the expropriation occurred when the project was not yet in operation and had yet to not generate revenue. Remediation. The question remains of the future status of the landing site, legal title of which at the present rests with Cotabering clearly conference substance integrity of the property while come an end when it receives payment. Under this award, Cotering must thereof recognitions of from that moment a claim, title and interest in the site. The fact that the site may require remediation has been borne in mind by the tribunal, and allowance has been made for this in the calculation of the payment payable, the Covenant of Mexico. Cost. Both parties seek an award of cost and beef wherever the tribunal finds that is it equitable on this merit of the each party to bear its own costs and fees, as well as the half the advance payment made to ICCID.
Award. For the reason stated above, the tribunal hereby decides that reflecting that amount of medical's investment in the project left that disallowance of expense claimed for 1991 and 1992, less the amount claimed by way of building of certain expense, and less the estimated amount allowed for the remediation, plus interests are the 6% compound annually, the responsible waiting 4 days from the date of which this award is rendered, pay the musicals at around following such period. Interests shall accrue of the open award of any